Good morning. Today's video, we'll be talking about Schedule A designated petitions. Are you qualified? That's what we will find out in this video. Bijoux.ngwanda here, immigration lawyer in the DC metropolitan area. While I do work with individuals across the country and around the world on complex immigration cases. If you're new to my channel, again, please go ahead and subscribe. Not new, welcome back. Thank you for subscribing. And please don't forget to hit the notification bell because we really want you to be hitting that notification bell so that YouTube will share my videos with people just like you. People who are interested in those type of subjects. And remember that I told you that I'll be doing a series. So basically series of employment-based petitions and just try to shed some light on some of those complex issues. And today we will talk specifically on those Schedule A designated petitions. And the reason being, it's because USCIS already has facilitate that labor certification process, because according to USCIS, if you belong in that category of people, then the labor certification does not have to go to the labor department. So it's pre-approved in advance already. So you just fill it out with your form I-140 and you send it to USCIS. Let's just get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you will know what I am really talking about when it comes to Schedule A designated petitions, okay? Let me share my screen and see how we're going to go over this subject. It's very complex, but just bear with me for a while. We're going to explain some stuff here, and hopefully we're going to answer your question. This is a live recording type of session. So basically, you can say hi in the comments below. You can comment. You can ask questions in the comments. And yes, that's what it is. Okay. Schedule A designated petition. So the U.S. Department of Labor adjudicates application for permanent employment certification, also referred to as permanent labor certification. But for certain occupations, okay, the Department of Labor has predetermined predetermined there are not sufficient U.S. workers who are able, willing, qualified, and available pursuant to regulation. It simply means this. So in order to get an employment type of petition approved, you first have to go to the U.S. Department of Labor. But in certain employment, the U.S. Department of Labor has already predetermined that there are no sufficient U.S. worker available, willing, qualified, and pursuant to that regulation. So you don't have to go to the labor certification requirement. So what you do, you just fill out the ETA form, the form 9089. If you click here, the form will come up. So basically this is the form. You fill it out already. And you don't send it to the U.S. Department of Labor. You just send it directly with your I-140 to USCIS, because the DOL has already predetermined that you're qualified, okay? But you have to be part of the Schedule A designated petitions. That's what we'll be, that's exactly what I want to talk about. So the eligibility of Schedule A designated designation, okay? Who is eligible and what is the requirement? So first of all, the employer must offer a full-time permanent employment to the beneficiary. You have to have an offer of a full-time employment. That's number one. And the employment must be in one of the occupation categorized as a Schedule A occupation. We'll talk about it. And number three, the employer must offer the beneficiary at least the prevailing wage. And if you go here, it really talks to you about what is prevailing age. Okay, you click on the section here, it's going to tell you what is prevailing wage, and how do you determine prevailing wage. Sorry, prevailing wage. Really, there's a lot of explanation as how to the employer, and that's really not your job to know, but the employer must know that, and your lawyer must know that if the employer is actually offering prevailing wage. Okay, so we go back here, and then the fourth requirement is that the employer must provide notice of the position it seeks to fill the employer's bargaining representative, if applicable, or to its employees, basically. So they have to advertise for the job. Really, they have to meet all those requirements, except for going to labor certification type of waiting for the Department of Labor to certify. You just fill it out and send it directly to USCIS. And then the beneficiary must meet the specific USCIS eligibility requirement. Okay, it's just not going to happen overnight. You still have to go meet all those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 requirements. And who are those people in Schedule A? Occupation. The following occupations comprise Schedule A. We are talking about physical therapists and professional nurses. Okay, and we have immigrant of special ability in the science or art, including college and university teachers, and immigrant of exceptional ability in performing art. It really goes to EB1 type here, especially when they talk about exceptional ability. Or EB2 to some extent, but EB2, remember, you don't need the labor certification, but to some level, it goes to that level of requirement, right? Because of the occupation shortage of the U.S. workers, DOL has certified Schedule A occupations. This means that an employer who wishes to hire a person for Schedule A occupation is not required, okay, to conduct a test of the labor market and apply for permanent labor certification. That's the key word here. And rather, this employer must apply for Schedule A designation by submitting an application for permanent labor certification to USCIS in conjunction with the petition. Okay? And then here it talks about prevailing wage determination and notice of filing and all the requirement description of the job. So basically, that's what you go to when you are trying to see determine prevailing wages and location and all that. So physical therapist and registered nurse, right? Physical therapist, now it explains to you who is a first physical therapist, okay? That's a person who applies the art and science of physical therapy to the treatment of patients with disabilities, disorder, and injury to relieve pain, develop and restore function, and maintain performance. Using physical means such as exercise. We already know what physical therapists do, right, as a job, and who is a nurse. And then you have to have a job offer, right? And then when it comes to immigrant of exceptional ability in science of art, it really goes down and explains to you what type of exceptional ability you have. And how it is defined when it comes to USCIS. You can go ahead and read it. But what I wanted to really talk about here is the fact that, let me stop sharing my screen. Go back here. So what I really wanted to talk to you about is the fact that when it comes to Schedule A designated petitions, physical therapists, nurses, and then people with exceptional ability in art, science, and etc. So the reason it make it a little bit easier and the employer is willing to do it, it's because they're not required to go through labor certification that requirement, so they don't have to go to the U.S. Department of Labor. We can just get that form, fill it out in conjunction with the petition, then send it to USCIS. Remember, we send it with the form I-140 to USCIS, or we can send it together with the form I-140 and the form 485 if you qualify to adjust status at the same time. Remember, this is when people get really confused. When it comes to adjusting status, my friend, you still have to be found admissible. You might have a I-140 petition approved, but if you're not admissible to the U.S., meaning lawfully present, you enter, you were expected when you enter the U.S. and you meet all the other criteria, no felony, no nothing, then you are qualified to, you're really admissible to adjust status. And if you're not, then in some instances, a waiver can apply. But if all those criteria, you haven't met them, even if you have a I-140 approved petition, perhaps with a work permit, you will not be able to adjust status unless you find yourself admissible. Okay, so that the only thing I wanted to talk to you about today. Really, I wanted to talk to you about Schedule A designation petitions, because it doesn't require the employer to go to DOL, the Department of Labor. So that certification, we can just fill it out ourselves, because DOL has already predetermined that there's no sufficient workers in the US in that particular area. Okay, so I hope that was easy to understand. So if you have questions and you find yourself qualified, please call my office 202-751-2180. Consultation fees apply. People keep emailing me. My friend, email is on the display, but consultation fees always apply. And the last thing, again, I want to talk about is the store. So you guys, if you visit the store, so let me share my screen again so I can let you know what you can do to visit the store. So you want to visit my store, you go here, pretty much on my YouTube channel, right? So if you're on my YouTube channel, you just go here. That's my YouTube channel. You click on any video that, like the one I did yesterday, and then you just go here. You scroll down here. It says Bijoux, buy Bijoux merchandise. And the reason we want you to visit our store is because Christmas is around the corner, a gift giving season, and we have some inspiring printed material with printed words. It's really inspiring, and the prices are reasonable. And you have even payment plans. You see, you can make 4 payment, 5 payments. Just support the work we're doing, because we are really helping out in this community. Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen. So let me know what you think about the series. We're doing a lot of employment-based type of series this week. Tomorrow I'll be back here again with another video on employment-based type of petitions. My friend, if you're available to adjust status, please let me know. Call my office, email, consultation fees apply. Again, don't forget to subscribe. My friend, we're trying to get to that 11K subscriber, and probably we really want to go to 20K subscribers. So we really appreciate your help if you are either subscribing or sharing with your friends. Okay, so, and please don't forget to comment. Until next time, bye-bye.